ready for the interview? Well, come over here real quick. Do you know who that is? Right there in the picture? Give me a minute to think. Princess Diana? Oh, I'm right. Oh, cool. Did you meet her? Yeah, when I went to England. When you went to England? Wow. Yeah, they use British Sign Language there. So the finger spelling's different than what we do here. And the sign was alright. Oh, that's cool. You are such a big part of deaf history, and I feel honored that I can interview with you today, Gallaudat's first deaf president. Can I go ahead and ask you some questions? Yeah, sure. Go right ahead. And I'm happy to be here with you. Do you mind explaining some about your background and how it connects to your success today? So I'm going to guess you want my short answer because my background is very hard to explain. But I grew up hearing, and I had never met a deaf person in my whole life. I mean, I didn't know anything about deafness. I didn't know they sign. I didn't know anything. And then when I was 21, I got into a motorcycle accident. And I woke up in the hospital and I was deaf. My life changed a lot. But my values, my family and support, my friends, and the people I love, they didn't change at all. So, my family and my friends were probably the most important thing in my life. Wow, that is crazy. That changed overnight. How do you feel now being deaf? Honestly, I didn't think I was going to continue being deaf. I was in the Navy originally, and the doctors didn't know anything about deafness. They thought it was trauma from the accident, and that I had swelling, brain swelling. And they thought after a while the deafness would just go away. They kept on telling me that I would just eventually get my hearing back. So you have a famous quote, and it says, "Deaf people can do anything but hear." How did that become famous? I don't really know how it became famous, but I can explain how it happened. I became president on a Sunday, March 13th, 1988. The board appointed me president. In the morning I had a press conference at Gallaudet. And the room was just packed full of people. And I was standing at the podium and there was microphones everywhere and cameras all in my face. And they asked me pretty simple questions. And they were easy to answer. And everyone was there to support DPN, and it was all really positive. And then I had a reporter ask me, "Alright, this is all good, but all these people are getting an education, and what are they going to do with it?" And man, was I offended. I was like, deaf people can do anything but hear. And the room just roared with applause after I said that. Everyone just went crazy. So I think that kind of got the ball rolling. That quote is amazing. So what kind of characteristics are important to you? For other people? Yeah, for other people, yeah. The most important thing for me is honesty. I just want people to be honest with me. If someone tells me something, I want to believe it. And if I find out later they lied to me, that kind of hurts me. I just want people to be 100% honest. Leadership is a big part of life. What does that mean to you? What is your definition of it? You gotta believe in something. If you believe in something powerful, then it will encourage other people to do it. And they will follow you. So a leader must believe in something. That's the most important thing. And you must work to encourage other people as well. Can you give me an example? Well, my quote. Before, we were kind of a quiet group of people, but now we're very proud of being deaf. And I can say I am deaf. I am a deaf person. And I think people will believe that and follow that. So I'm in high school and I'm a senior. I'm about to graduate and go out into the real world. Looking back to when you were in high school and you were a senior about to go out into the world, what was that for you? What were your thoughts? Well, I would expect that you're probably a better student than I was back in my day. I was not a very good student in high school. I was the third of 4 siblings. I had 2 older sisters, then me, and then I had a younger brother. And my 2 older sisters were so smart. They got straight A's and they were really good in school. And so I was always compared to them. But I was really rebellious. I never studied, I didn't work hard. I did everything wrong. After high school I applied for college and I didn't get accepted because I wasn't a very good student. So then I went into the Navy and then I became deaf. And then I realized after all that education really is important. So I always tell people who are about to graduate to don't just stop. Continue your education. Go to college. Go to community college, vocational college, or something. Just continue going. So you weren't a good student back in the day, but how did you learn that education needs to be valued? I realized as soon as I became deaf how important it was. People can't take education away from me. Education and degrees and all that is all mine. So I use it to help get ahead. So there's a lot of things going on in the world that are pretty awful nowadays. If you could pick one thing to change, what would you change? Do you mean if I could change one thing in the world? Anything? Yeah, anything. Alright. I would change peace, which means no war, no terrorism. I'm a veteran, and so I'm active in the veteran world and community. And people come back for more, and they just have serious injuries, head injuries, and PTSD, deafness, amputations, all kinds of things. And for what? So, out of all the crazy things in the world, war. Obviously, that probably will never happen, but you asked me for one thing, so that's what I would do. I would stop war. So, you have a lot of experience in your life, and which one do you just really appreciate the most? Out of my whole life, I think maybe my family. My family growing up was really wonderful. My sisters, my brother, my cousins, aunts, uncles, they were all good to me. And now my family has grown. I have wife, children, grandchildren. So family is very special to me. And over the summer, my wife and my grandchildren, they're in their teens, and we went to Paris, and it was a really cool experience. I never thought that I would ever leave the U.S., but I went to Paris with my family, and that's something that they will remember forever. So I want to pass down those family values to them. So I heard that you did something like an ultra marathon or 100-mile runs. How do you run and persist and do all that? What's your advice? I love running. I love long distance running. But this past summer, I became 70 years old. I became 70 actually on a Sunday. And it happened that same day, San Francisco Marathon was happening. So me and my family all went out to San Francisco, and I did the run. I did a half marathon. And it was so much fun. It was celebrating my birthday, plus I was running in San Francisco, which is a beautiful city. And I ran across the Golden Gate Bridge. It was just so beautiful. I was telling people along the run to tell me happy birthday. So it was a lot of fun. I like longer runs. I have now finished 38 100-mile runs all over the country. Vermont, California, Colorado, Texas, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, just so many different places. How did you get into running? I just love athletics. But I'm not really good at other sports like baseball. I'm not good at basketball. I'm not good at football. But I'm good at running. So I decided I'm going to focus on what I can do best. So back to the deaf community. What are you hoping will happen for future deaf generations? I think technology is changing the world for deaf people. Technology has really helped level the playing field for deaf people. And now people who are deaf can use different ways to communicate. Unlike before, growing up, I didn't have VRS, I didn't have captionings, I didn't have interpreters. When I went to college, there was no interpreter. We would have people who would volunteer sometimes, but certification and all that wasn't a thing. So, my advice is for deaf people to take advantage of those technologies, take advantage of the access that they have. Because there's so much access now to deaf people. There's a movie theater where you can wear special glasses and see the captions of the movie. It's really just amazing. So take advantage. See all the new movies, watch TV with captions, go to plays and watch the interpreters and watch different things with captions. Just take advantage, take full advantage of those opportunities. So all these access to communications, what are some other things you should feel the community should obtain? The idea of pride in oneself. Be proud of being deaf. I'm deaf, so what? That's part of me. Don't try to fix me. I want to be fixed. I'm very happy with being a deaf person. I became deaf a long time ago. And you should be proud of being deaf. What's one thing that you live by on a daily basis? Like one quote. One quote I live by every day? This may sound trite, but work hard. Work hard. Running is hard. And talking about communication, that's hard. When you speak in public, you have to work hard to prepare. Anything you do, you must work hard. Don't let life go by. Wake up every day with a goal and work towards getting to that goal. All your success, and who's the one person that inspired you? Honestly, this may sound very normal, but I grew up with a wonderful dad. And he's very important to me. He was active in so many things that I did. He didn't have no education. He dropped out of school before the 6th grade and just started working. But that was a long time ago. But he needed to support his family. So he didn't have a formal education, but he knew how important it was. So he always expected us to go to college. Even if he never went to school, he expected us to go to college. He expected us to work hard. He was an honest man. He was actively involved in his church, and people respected him. Even people with higher positions, people with a lot of money, they had a lot of respect for him. They knew he was the real deal. So, your whole life together, what do you want people to remember about you one day? I hope people remember me for me, as an honest person. That I believed in things and I did everything I could to follow it. Sometimes my behavior and my communication, for example, is not like other people in the deaf community. But that's how I am. That's how I communicate. I have to be myself in order for people to respect me. I have to always be myself. What's the best moment in your life? One? One single moment? You can do more than one. I have more than one. My professional moment, I have 2 children. And when they were born, there's nothing that could compare. It's like right away you have 2 kids. 1 boy, 1 girl. And those are really wonderful memories for me. Professionally, I think that's when I became president. I never expected for that to happen. Because during the whole Deaf President Now movement, I stood up and supported the students. And when I supported them, I thought that my chances were none. So when they appointed me that Sunday night, I was just amazed. It really touched me. And I thought it was a great opportunity. And I think I did pretty good. So those 2 moments, what are you most proud about? My legacy? I think when I became president, I tried really hard to pull together deaf people from everywhere. I didn't want just a narrow definition of deaf people. I want deaf people from all over different lives, hard of hearing people, people who use cued speech, people who sign, people who are oral. if that's their decision, I respect that. Is there anything else you would like to add that you want people to know? I don't have anything else to add. I really enjoyed my conversation with you today, and I have to tell you, it's hard for me to believe that you're a senior in high school. You're very mature. And you will have a great future ahead of you. Well, thank you for your time and coming to interview with me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much for sitting down and interviewing with me. I hope I get into a good school. Either one would be great. You have a major that you're interested in? Yeah, radiology. Oh, wow. So we'll see if I actually go through with it. Well, good for you.